What's up, y'all? This is Brittany
and Mercedes,
and welcome to our first video. We're going to tell you the story about how we had our first baby, little Bo.
So if you'd like to learn a little bit about our journey, then come along with us.
Thank you to the camera.
Well, this is our first video, so bear with us. We're going to try to get through this the best that we can.
Alright, so we're just going to go ahead and dive right in. We're winging it.
We got married back in 2018, right before she went on deployment, and we had already always talked about babies. Not necessarily having them, but how much we loved them.
And how much we wanted them eventually.
But then she went on deployment and came back, and that's when we really started getting serious and started research. And I had a friend in college that they had babies. So Merce asked me to reach out and ask how they did it. Well, asking is kind of personal for some people. You know, I felt, I was violating their privacy. But they were very welcoming and gave us some pointers and tips, so that's where we started.
So we asked her friend and they gave us some advice, and I decided that I was going to call the fertility clinic at BMC, and they told me I needed a referral from my doctor before they could actually see us and start scheduling appointments. After they told me that, I went to my PCM and they told me I should probably go try and talk to the OB, so they referred me to the OBGYN. I went and spoke with her, and she advised me that they don't do referrals until you have been trying at home for over a year.
So that's the deer.
And so I bought these ovulation tests. It's a tracking system from Pre-Mom. You can buy the tests in bulk off Amazon, so that's what I did.
And that's what she used to track your ovulation. And
oh, ovulation.
Ovulation.
So I started tracking my ovulation and realized how irregular my cycles really were, because we could not pinpoint a great time to inseminate, but because they told us we had to try for a year, that's what we decided to do.
Kept trying. And it wasn't working.
Once I started tracking my ovulation for like 2 months, I think it was like the 3rd month, we decided to hop onto Cryos, which is just an online sperm bank. Everything's anonymous.
It's very user-friendly. You can search all kinds of things. It gives you lots of information, and you have so many donors to choose from. You get a profile on them, like genetic testing, background, history of whatever. So we were looking through Cryos, and we found a couple of donors that we were interested in. Definitely needed to be sporty.
Yeah, because I'm not naturally sporty. I was going to be the carrier, by the way. If nobody knew, that was our plan in the beginning, is I wanted to be pregnant. I wanted to carry for sure.
So we needed some athleticism coming out of this baby.
Because I got the brain, so I don't got the athleticism.
I got the athleticism, but
can't make a baby that way.
Maybe next one.
So we decided to... I need some chopstick. After about 3 months of tracking my ovulation, we decided we're just gonna wing it. We're gonna order the sperm and
hope for the best
and see what's thinking happened.
Well, on Cryos you can order a 7-day tank or a 14-day tank. And at first we ordered the 7-day, and we did overnight shipping, but it ended up coming 2 days later. And then sometimes we would get it early and she wouldn't ovulate. Sometimes we would get it and it would be too late. She had already ovulated because she didn't have a regular cycle.
So even if I did ovulate and we aimed it right, which was maybe once in a blue moon, I don't know if we actually ever did it.
No.
But it wouldn't have been there anyways.
Yeah.
So we kept missing the window, and my cycles were so irregular and just inconsistent. It never worked. It never worked for us. And we tried for months. and it took a very big emotional toll and a big mental toll on us.
Yeah, it did.
And it was really hard for us for a while because I was losing it. I was just losing it because I wanted a baby so bad, and we waited, I thought, so long. And
it was long.
We were trying and trying and trying, and every single time that we would try, it would fail, and every time that it would fail, it would just bring me to a lower and lower place. And not only were we trying so many times, it's expensive and it racks up when you're doing it at home.
Sure does.
With no help of hormones. And yeah. And you're trying to guess when to inseminate. A lot of the times our sperm went bad. So we tried for probably like 6 months. And I called the doctor again and I said, hey, we've been trying. It's not been taking because my cycles are irregular. Is there any way you could give me hormones, or could you refer me to the fertility clinic because I know that they can give me hormones? And again, they gave me the runaround and told me that, no, you need to be trying for a year. And I was like, well, we're a same-sex couple. It's not easy for us. It's not like we can just try for a year for free because it's a lot of money. We depleted a lot of our savings, and so it was just breaking me and tearing me apart when they told me no again, and that we had to keep trying again. And we did. We tried again, longer than a year before we even got to the fertility clinic.
Yeah, it was pretty rough. They just kept giving us the runaround.
We got our referral, and the fertility clinic called us. Before they would let us come to the clinic to do our procedure, I had to do a pap smear and an HSG test, which was the most painful thing next to childbirth that I have ever done in my entire life. I'm pretty sure I passed out from the pain before I went back to work in the car.
She came out in some pain.
It was horrible. I was like seeing white. It was terrible. And the HSG test is to make sure that the HSG test is to make sure that your fallopian tubes are not blocked or clogged. They shove a bunch of fluid up into your uterus and make sure that your tubes were cleared. Well, my left side did not leak, and so they thought possibly it could have been clogged. But the procedure was so painful, I kind of opted out after it started hurting excruciating. What's that word?
Excruciating?
After it started hurting a lot,
Yeah.
I decided just to get off the table. I asked the doctor to stop. He wanted to try again to make sure and
Hell no.
see if he could clear it himself by shoving the fluid through it, but I couldn't do it. So I got off the table and walked out to her and was like, help, help.
Help me.
After the procedures were done, a few more weeks passed, and the fertility clinic called us and told us that we could schedule our procedure. And
this was a big relief, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Hope. It was a step in like the direction we needed.
Yes, because I was low. I was at a low point. So when they finally called us and said that, hey, let's
do this thing.
Let's schedule an appointment and get you in here and see if we can make a baby, I was just elated. I was so excited, and I felt like everything was finally coming together after all this hardship and failures, and it was a great feeling.
So we finally got her set up an appointment November 3rd, I believe. And they gave her some medication to take.
Yeah, I had to take some pills, basically hormones, to start the ovulation process.
The clinic was about 6 hours away from us.
In San Antonio, Texas.
Yeah, we had to travel from Fort Polk, Louisiana, all the way out there just to go to the freaking REI clinic.
So when I went in for our consult, and they prescribed me the medicine, they also gave me Ovidril, something like that.
Yeah.
It's a trigger shot that you take 2 days before your scheduled IUI procedure, and it makes your egg drop from your fallopian tube down, so we can try and pinpoint it.
Trip.
Try and pinpoint it to make sure that we timed it right. And I do not like needles. I don't like needles at all. I hate them.
But she gets tattoos.
It's so different though.
It is.
It's so
Anyways.
different. So anyways, I knew I had to give myself a shot and I was not ready and I did not want to do it.
She didn't give herself a shot.
So I didn't do it. She did it.
I had to do it.
Yeah.
And she was freaking out. I had to give it to her in her stomach, and every time I'd be like, okay, here we go. She's like, no, stop. Like 5 times. I'm like, just look at this needle. It's like that big.
It was the
tiny.
smallest needle I've ever seen in my life.
Like smaller than a flu shot or something. And she was freaking out. Well, I finally gave it to her, and she was like, did you do it? I'm like, yeah. She's like, oh, that wasn't bad. I told you so.
I didn't even feel it. That's why I was like, did you do it? She's like, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It shocked me, but I was like, oh, I'm such a wiener. So we took the trigger. So we did the trigger shot on a Wednesday night. Then
went in 2 days later, on the 5th.
On a Friday,
Mm-hmm.
early in the morning, we came to the hospital with our big yellow tank. Took it up to the lab so they could make sure our sperm was good and was moving around all in there.
And it was good to go.
We got into the operating room and I laid back on the bed.
The doctor came in with a very, very small catheter and
went through my cervix,
yeah,
straight in there, and she took a little syringe like this. She sucked them up in here, so it was exactly 1 milliliter, and she attached the catheter to it. The other end of the catheter was in my you-know-what, and she plunged that sucker in there.
And we started praying.
We were hoping for the best, and she said, if y'all want, we can go ahead and schedule another IUI, or you can wait and see if this one takes, because it's known that IUI procedures, especially with patients who have problems with fertility, they don't always work first time. They say that it takes 2 to 3 times for an IUI procedure to take. So we had enough hope that since we timed it right for the first time, that it would work.
Yeah.
But there was always that chance that it wouldn't. But we decided to wait on an appointment to see if it worked.
So we did not schedule another appointment because we were just gonna wait the 2 weeks for her to take a pregnancy test and see if it was positive or negative, and then at that point we would make a decision on if we needed to do it again. Anyways, the doctor told us to wait 2 weeks for her to test and to see if she was pregnant or not.
And then I waited until Friday and took another test, and it was a
big fat positive.
big fat positive.
So her best friends were down at the time at the house.
They didn't know that we were trying.
Yeah,
We didn't tell anybody.
nobody knew.
So I came home from work and I was just racking my brain. I was like, how can I tell her without Sydney and Carly hearing too? But if you don't know how I did that, you gotta wait for the next video because we're going to share our pregnancy announcement as another video. That's where we get ya. After I did tell her and we found out we were pregnant, we were both so happy, and it was like a breath of fresh air, like no way. Like we had tried for so long and we put so much energy and effort and time and money into it that when it was real, it didn't even feel real.
It was a feeling I've never felt before because we've been waiting so long for this.
Now I got our baby.
So if you guys ever have any questions, I mean, we're an open book. You can ask us anything. We'll answer to the best of our knowledge and the best of our ability. Literally anything. We are down to, tell you.
If there's anything that you guys would like for us to go more in depth on, like how we did it at home or how ovulation tracking works, then just let us know. We can talk about that another time, or if you've got any specific questions, you can comment them below. We'll respond with hopefully an answer if we know it. If not, then Google. Google's a wonderful place. So thanks for watching our first video. Hope you guys stayed to the end. I know it was a mess because we're a mess.
We are.
But we tried our best. So hopefully we got the story across clear enough for everybody to understand. Maybe you guys can take a little bit away from it if you needed to.
If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to see more of our videos about more baby stuff, and then some other videos.
Go hunting with Brett, not me. I'm the worst hunting buddy ever.
Horrible.
But I share baby tips. Brittany will take you hunting. We'll walk you guys around our farm. We'll show you what we've been working on the Smith property. and share some family goals with everybody. So hopefully it'll be an adventure. It's gonna be exciting, and we can't wait to share more of our journey with everybody. Like, comment, subscribe. How many times does it take for you to work it?
Let me turn this bitch off.
You clicking the button?
What the f is that button?
On the side.